You are actually a Bitcoin critic turned believer. In 2017, you said Bitcoin was a fraud, and you know about fraud, and you say Bitcoin can easily be used in money laundering and that the government can make it go away. Nevertheless, you're predicting Bitcoin could go up to $100,000. So tell me how you made this turnaround.
So I was right in 2017. I called the price drop pretty much to the day. So when I said that I thought Bitcoin was ridiculously overvalued and based on nothing, I believe at the time I was right 100%. I think it was 19,000 plus when I said it. Within a week, it was, plummeting and so forth. Now, I thought it would never come back. And the reasons, were pretty valid at the time. And I'm still perplexed by it, but I'm glad that it's still here. To me, it was all about sovereign risk. I love the idea of blockchain technology. I am investing in it. I'm involved with the whole crypto movement now. But I was very much of the mind that there's no way the government is going to allow this to go on, because I, as you said earlier, was convicted of money laundering. I know what lengths they'll go to stop anyone's ability to move money around the globe without following those forms of over $10,000. So it seemed counterintuitive, almost impossible. And many people, like Warren Buffett and many others, Jamie Dimon, also agree with that. I love the technology. I'm still a bit shocked by it, though. So that being said, now that enough bigger players are involved, I think it'll be difficult for the government right now to essentially regulate it out of business at once. So I think what happens first before anything long term, I think it goes higher technically, probably to 100,000 or more. But what happens over the long term, I still think is an open question. I'm a bull, certainly for the short term, and I love blockchain technology overall.
What?
Well, number one, I don't think that Bitcoin would be the coin people would use to launder money. There are much better, privacy coins like Monero and things like that. So while Bitcoin is much easier to launder money with than cash, because cash is hard to move, Bitcoin moves anywhere in an instant. So you move that whole transportation problem. Anytime you watch a movie that's about, narcos, it's always about they're loading money onto boats and what do we do with the money? So obviously, Bitcoin has that advantage. But that being said, there are much better mechanisms out there now with crypto than Bitcoin's. I don't think Bitcoin would be the one that people would use. Maybe it's used a bit, but I don't think that's what Bitcoin's being used for. In the early days, watch the movie Silk Road. That's what its initial use was in the early days when people first realized what it could do. I do own some Bitcoin. It's not a massive investment for me. I own some. And who knows? I mean, honestly, I would think before the end of the year, but don't take mine's just a feeling I have. It's based on technical factors, on announcements that you see every single day. I don't think anyone really knows where it's going. But I think I had to guess, I say it goes significantly higher versus lower. And I believe it really has its place in the financial system as sort of a digital gold. And ultimately, I'd like to really see it as more of a payment mechanism with decentralized finance. That's what I really think the future of Bitcoin is.
Are you bullish on any other cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, Ethereum, has, more use. I know there's an update coming that hopefully will make it a lot less expensive and quicker to use. But, listen, I think at the end of the day, I can see a world where the governments issue cryptocurrencies. Oh, yeah. ICOs do, but not NFTs. I think NFTs are a great thing because I think that there's, it is what it is. It's about something of value behind it that's perceived value, but there's something behind it that an NFT represents an asset. It's the digitized form of an asset. Well, to me, an ICO is just a clever way to raise money and separate people from their money. Now, that doesn't mean there's not some really good ones out there. But, the one thing about Bitcoin that bothered me most is the inflationary aspect, that it was going up so fast, because what goes up eventually comes back down. I think right now, Bitcoin has found a really wide following, both individual investors and institutionally. So I think that's a really, really positive sign for the future. I'm not quite as sure about many of these smaller coins if they have that sort of broad sponsorship. And again, that's a very important thing to see which ones ultimately will survive this. But I think that Bitcoin is here to stay now. I'm bullish on it. And I love the fact, listen, I love to be proven wrong. I don't care. People change their mind all the time. I mean, the day that I stop changing my mind is the day I probably stop breathing. Okay. So I take the information and now I'm bullish. Bitcoin, right now, I believe it's digital gold. And I think it basically can be used as a store of value. And I think that the easiest way to look at this is there's a maximum amount of Bitcoins that can be minted. And based on the potential demand out there, there is calculations that said Bitcoin could go, to massively higher prices, like things that don't really make sense unless you actually looked at the math. So I think that one thing I know is that on Wall Street, it's all about timing, and timing. In real estate, it's location, location, and location. And right now, I believe, technically speaking, the time to buy Bitcoin is right now.